You mentioned here women in politics. WOHO 95.1 FM. That McKenna from Henry Eliud Yankee. And as we do, we are bringing you another special guest on the show. Yebo Suyanzame Finoho. The whole power of a woman through a beauty pageant to the law school, because I didn't tell you, and now to politics. These are areas if you are not tough, you are not strong, you can't venture. But she's done it all. And as you see, one of our Facebook and one call Onua 95.1 FM on Facebook. We are live on Onua TV. Inti catch Onua all over Ghana. Na no so untum na onhwe dwumezi be live on Onua TV. And we are privileged yensa kan. Oheneba Akosua Safoah. Dodo na yenyim ye friend Queen AC. Oyembrenyim ni mapa, a lawyer. Ena a leading member. Ozema Movement for Change Afafranto. Na the pro-Alan movement around all over Ghana no ono and oyo one national coordinator. Queen. Apo me.
Boko ase.
Yamesa adumo. Embra ye post to flyer no. And people were wondering, Henry, is she the GMB winner no? And I'm saying yes nara. What's sure and I'm saying. What's or a lawyer? And I'm saying, or politics. And I'm saying,
95.1.
For more, just listen. And see, I reckon, or Joe, baby, will be a Joe. We have a lot of Joes. My friend Joe, question will be some. We have a lot of them in Ghana. When you post to fly, and they would want to learn, especially our women. Apo men. Yanko Pons are dominde. Yebo bu na so with them fancy. Yebo blow one. Now, bravo, Mr. Den. I'm on for 2 catcher. Where have you been?
I've been around.
Around you.
No, law school normalism who see kakra.
I see.
In your number the movie and sana. About TV do radio and the showbiz kakra and you're not mainstream politics.
Yeah, but law school no and some, and then you're transitioning into politics.
Okay.
But do na nyimu as Queen AC winning or GMB, but beyond GMB na nkrofo nyimu no. Who is Queen AC?
Okay.
Yawana, how did you start? I mean, Queen Yawana, people would really want to know more about you.
Okay. Meda wait for I say. Meda shafusa worshing in live or Facebook on Onua TV. Meda Central Region for Titru. No nye Mechapro for Christo Asafo. No nye the entire membership of the Movement for Change.
Okay.
Medobi biase na nchia so onko ma me papa apostle Dr. Kwadwo Safoah. No nye papa eja Kwadwo Chirmaten. So we can who is AC Queen AC and now who is Oheneba Akosua Safoah. I'm just an ordinary girl who grew up who had a humble beginning. Onye mo sorry putu pruna nyamezi mo bodru baby amedri.
Okay.
Me starting kakra na me ye fante kakra. In fact me ye fante bebre me ye asante kakra.
Okay.
Na me ye gonja kakra. Ono the crofo nyaminyo.
Serious blend.
Mfanti bebre na asante kakra na gonja.
You've combined Ghana from the south to the middle.
Serious
to
one.
the north.
So I'm a proud Ghanaian.
Justian.
Enyo.
The fancy bit.
Betino. The Ashanti betino.
And
the gonja betino. The gonja betino. My great grandmother, or friend, Madiza.
Okay.
Ofri Bupe. No nye nuanu misafe basa. They came down to the south. The obo shi jumaye. Nena na one way fair.
Wara.
Into Obena. Infante for kept cause infante for watch it. 1-3 na watch it 190 1 ko won kro me biom. Inti on of my enya dama gonja nti gonja for na woba kept cause oba settling na infante for me for wearing one. Na ma me ne papa so ya Asante nyankasa of friend Fredu Ajeman. Our free Asante mampon ho no. Enyo nti ho na me fa me gonja Asante na ma me ne ma me fante so mapa. Anti wa ma Me a fancy bebre asante kakra na gonja. I'm a proud Ghanaian.
Proud Ghanaian indeed. Very interesting.
Wo Cape Coast.
Cape Coast. Okay.
In your Cape Coast na wo. I grew up na papa ye Christo Asafo papa woman kasa.
Okay.
We fi ma char.
Oh, I see.
In your name ye Christo Asafo. Nti wo Cape Coast na wo transfer yen within Central Region, Western and Ashanti.
Okay.
Nti o my nanto kro bebre do. Inyo.
Jenny woman.
Mekacho. Mananto mangasa yatne cross typical village life.
Wow.
Marco stream like yes so streams na azezi be fie muchia inyo. Amuchia wonua days ban as in no I've gone through all. Inyo. Nti them I can have a humble beginning. Na papa kasa wo no film acher, no film so na musa.
Okay.
Nti film na Apostle Dr. Akosua Safoah. Adopt him as a bankran.
God bless him.
This
man is, I mean, Yakari is amazing because I have friends in Unia. They tell me, young Papa Apostle, so when I began to find out, I mean, where baby I will fear
in your
Papa
no
for
pick,
one.
in your.
God bless him. But young stay or Central. School has him fan Cape Coast and him fan.
Michelle school was say. What he mind, chief for him mind.
Okay.
Chief for him mind.
I see.
I when I'm starting in nursery, KG. Now was the emba swedro. Number co school kakra was swedro.
Jenny.
Me babo dombo bikuma. Ne na. Na wasn't bell mina. Tell me na in your Elmina na Murray Jesus or Hollywood preparatory school.
Oh, I see.
Tell me na no your boarding. Tell me that boarding na Missouri. Murray na minya Fantaman girls.
Oh,
was Salt Point. Until we Fantaman girls in your site. And I'm a proud muga. Nah, nyame no Murray site. Minya University of Ghana, Legon.
Okay.
I was offered economics and information studies.
Okay.
Until Murray Legon no. Murray Legon no mana. Mezeba Ghana's most beautiful. In your Murray Ghana's most beautiful son na Mazotiado Law School.
Yeah, about GMB story. But into growing up as young as you were, now a remove from one town to another, How was it? Psychologically, how was it having an effect on you, and how was it? If you were interesting, if you saw, I mean, psychologically. How was it for you not to dance them all?
It wasn't easy. But then my parents, I don't know were that poor. They were not poor. But then as a child, I knew who I wanted to become. And I knew where I wanted to be. And at times I felt like I didn't belong to my environment.
You knew who you wanted to become.
I knew who I wanted to become.
Who you wanted to be.
Exactly.
At that very age.
At 4, 5.
What was the exposure? What were you seeing? Was it the nature, the people around you? What informed you in making that decision at that very young age?
At that young age, at times I had the privilege of watching TV. Papa in TV at times I could be named now.
Uncle
Zana na me papa ye Miss Ghana.
I see.
Nsa mo hwepa. Nti normally wo wie season na zo wini no na me twa me paper me twa paper na ma tro number na o wini no wo do na me tie ahihye me to na me tie na za bo me nsa as contestant number that person na me na me model na ase. Until I knew that I wanted to become a beauty queen.
Wow.
And I wanted to become a lawyer as well. Because now lawyer you money me fair. And looking at politicians at that time, Honorable Hawa Yakubu Mo, Wakasa, in your 7-8 years, 9 years, me take Christian Church, Gladys Asma. In your until now, Papa Otto.
Interestingly, we've profiled them on this very show.
I see. It's not Papa to calendar of ministers. No, your friend and politicians, women politicians. Now, as our Sunday Muhomo. So I'll be learning their names. Yes.
Wow.
And then their positions. Then he'll be explaining to me what they do and all that. Wow. Until what I remember most, Kufor Bar 2001, no. Ne first, ne government appointees, the ministers.
Calendar, no.
And I learned psychologically children endear more to beautiful women and handsome men. Inti in papa's calendar and Western one. No, me take Alan Cash. No, me take Jake Obeche Bilamte. No, me take a courage, major courage Koshiga. No, nye Christian church. I know who I am fair, and I wanted to become like them.
They were very strong.
Very.
Then Ghana's politics, and now the creme de la creme. The people you've mentioned, very strong people.
Yes.
So we had a perfect choice at that young age. So back to the question, moving around the psyche. How was it for you?
Na me pente me to become who I wanted to become. As a child, no, they be a kasa nkrofo se mizim penyin sam. School ye bibia, I make sure that I play my role. Wow. And as a child, no, I was a class captain from the KG to class 6. Post bia mokobi, election bia mokobi. More wrestle.
You were in for it.
I was in for it because I think I believe that I'm a born leader. And she says make a last to cry. Ekwana nyame for those mbabo to enyim no. I'll come there.
Wow.
Yes.
Live on Onua 95.1, getting interesting. I mean, just the first few or a minute here I spent Nagasa, you can appreciate where she's coming from. Baby Ofiroba. Enti sabe yanamba no nzama yeremo worship nzama yeremo we hunu ye expose one to know. Let's not think they are just pictures. They are just videos. No. They have impact in their brains and their minds and what they would want to become in future. And that is with you.
That is with me, yes.
So, from there, fast forward to Oye site.
Yes.
Why Oye site? Did you want me growing up? It was all boys.
Yeah, okay.
School. And my choices,
okay.
and the American radio.
Okay.
GSTS Prempe.
Okay.
Buki. These three. No other school apart from these three. And I had one of them. I had to go to GSTS. But, so for me, growing up, boys' school or nothing. How was yours like?
I think we had similar thoughts. Christian Church went to Fantaman Girls. Gladys Hassa went to Wesley Girls.
Yeah.
Into either Wesley Girls or Fantaman Girls or no school. No, me on Fantaman Girls.
Interesting. In Fantaman, I have a course them.
In Fantaman, I was offered business.
Okay.
I was in Coffee House. Yes, and at the time I was a compound prefect for Coffee House for 2 years.
And a life in school then?
And I mean, just as I'm a boarding house, the boarding house experience, no, you new to me. And I'm a first day I'm going to be a gangalia. First day I'm going to be a gangalia. And I remember from one third term, no, where I'm dorm monitress. But then dorm monitress position I was in my form 3 and form 2s. But
because
as a form 1
student, surprised.
Yes, I became a dorm monitress. Then I'm more dormitory with seniors, with my colleague juniors.
Because of the experience.
Because of the experience and my leadership qualities. Yes.
Anything OC or school, I mean, which you reminisce, I mean, anything in your school, you think is worth sharing?
As a prefect, as a coffee house campaign prefect, I make sure that I work so effectively to the extent that my mate respected me a lot. On the sites, also what's side girls, yeah, so I on kakra. But then as a prefect, I knew how to handle the people under me. I knew how to even control my mate who went wayward. I remember there were times we used to make calls. Well, that my phone booths no to school. Until a time no power. Now my betcha or home. Trouble. To the extent that if my mate saw me coming, they would run away.
Your mate?
My mate.
It was about discipline.
It was, yes, discipline. Na me nyo bia na me yanko sem bebre na me ze enyin. Men kada me alone and other me penyi pa bebre, but then I love being alone, thinking about myself, having thoughts. Yes. Until I'm sure that I yanko bebre. Until the discipline was there, people respected me for that. And they say you'll be closer to me, my school daughters or friends cry. You can't misbehave when Sister Vera was around.
Hey, crowd to Vera.
Vera, yeah.
Anyway, so fast forward to oil leg.
Yeah.
Why leg? Tech WOHO.
Legon. Yeah, tech WOHO. One
You
thing
see,
about me
constant
is,
confusion. Leg.
One thing about me is them I'm a catch on. I know who I want to become as a child. In Infantiman girls form 4 yana was in static for first 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Into every year near co-investing.
I see.
In the whilst in form 4 no. Much me economics book University of Ghana, Legon, BA economics.
In senior
high school.
High school.
My 4th year, yes.
4th year.
Yes.
Natural.
Na mature me notebook economics. University of Ghana, Legon, Bachelor of Arts Economics, BA Economics.
Anytime you pick the book, you saw it.
Yes, I knew. Because now I wanted to study either administration or economics at Legon. But then I loved economics in SS.
Okay.
And so I decided to say, me admin minya konsa. I'm okay.
I want MP cons no wala MP do.
But Legon konsa izo.
The main one. I never did a cons. Okay, I did in level 100. I did level 100 first and second semester. I did a cons. Wouldn't you? And South now enter me into deep. I see.
With the Professor Bania Kona Senate Janom Nazonia in Kamuru.
By
But me winyo. Inti course I na me pay. I study towards it. I make sure there more fill me form so na so no minye. And my father had told me he's not taking me to any school apart from University of Ghana.
Oh, father, no influence what do no mommy. How was it?
Makada my father's influence in here much more than my mom. Oh yeah, Apostle Dr. Kojo Safoah. He prophesied about my birth. Warren Cape Coast on the 13th of September 1992. He was in Cape Coast, and he's been around. He told my mom that this child belongs to me. Inti Moshane Kakra, Mufama Adi Mreme.
Wow.
Yes. But my pede me finin cheninti. Papa wina no quay. Aha.
Wow.
And from on mom kwan mam call JSS boarding house. And I just from wina we homeschooling.
Yeah, homeschooling.
But then I wanted to be out until he gave me that freedom to go to Infantiman girls so that I wanted to mingle. I wanted to see the outside world I see. And my father has so much influence, especially on my decision, the choices I make. And yet he decides for me, but then he's a guardian. Absolutely. He guides. Okay, when I even wanted to go into pageantry, he told me on person so if I want to enter into pageantry, I should think about it twice. So I had to figure out what pageants are.
Wow.
And I settled on Ghana's Most Beautiful.
We'll come to that journey, and if you are proud of that.
Okay.
But to leg.
Okay.
First year, I mean, at a point in Legon, and I get into politics, or it was way after Legon?
No. In Legon, first year, no. I was interested in the Senate's position.
Okay.
And so Senate, no, in the floors. I was in Equafo Hall. In fact, the Hall of Excellence and Tradition.
Hey.
Yes, Equafo Hall. Until me Equafo. Yes. Until first year I was in Annex A, 5th floor. Until floor election. Mokwa nana we elected my be senator for the 5th floor. So I was into Equafo Hall Parliament. In the second year, I'm contesting. Now was a editorial board, now sponsorship committee, WOHO anymore. In the third year, no, now I'm contesting for vice president of the whole JCR, and I won.
Wow.
So I was the JCR vice president of Equafo Hall, and then the women's commissioner at that time.
Now she's student politics now.
Yeah,
but you know. Out of I don't want to Union 5.1. Getting interesting. Yeah, Queen AC 2015 GMB winner. Or a lawyer and a politician will still take you through the life journey. Yente Imbra, Yerbasisia.
95.1.
Wafame Henry in the Meritum is our regular host Yatiti Okra. GMB Queen
95.1.
2015. Queen AC and the in common. Sir Bisa, no woman in politics is better than she's here to tell you her life journey and why it's important them besiafo was on beshe politics. And now esi abe full-time politician as a student, very much active in student politics. How different is student politics or from your mainstream politics here?
Student politics and all difference in shada big because extra lots of the student politicians one when you know about young politicians and papa no near my minimum and see way back in Legon I remember some of the positions you get some of the politicians sponsoring some of the contestants. Yes, but I'm your do modern papa no sponsor.
Okay.
Yes, difference in shada but say na say you have the integrity, you keep your credibility. Indeed the whole is schools scanners are or bomb my confidence my to run mainstream politics more. To student politics one politicians one when you be papa no Edem Agbana was my SRC president. But in the Agbana contest for MPO area. And I know hopefully Edem is going to win or NDC. But I'm rallying behind Edem Agbana. Yes. He's someone I knew. He's someone who is competent.
The new constituency we create or Guan.
Right?
No. That is where is that not where he's contesting?
Onye Guan. Me refine constituency but Onye Guan.
Edem Agbana.
Edem Agbana. He's the NDC former deputy.
Yeah, I know. I think I would have to do a check on that. And see, now you are into a student politics. At what point? So, okay, you remain war uni wara. And see, how are you combining oil politics in the uni
with the studies?
Vis-a-vis, your studies? How
it was about timing and then scheduling your studies, time for politics, and time for yourself, your personal life. And you have to balance it. Yes. And they were now may executives or catch them hunam job. I'll make sure that you finish yours. So I was always on the necks of my president. I was always checking my president, Oye Palenzi, Desmond Bredu. Wow. He now works with, is it Fidelity or something? Yes. He's a chartered accountant and all. Into my executives, I make sure that as a vice president, you know that your role was not really specifically stated. So you support the president. And you're supporting the president and all the other executives in your. So that was what I was, and I did that, combining it with my studies with economics.
So, yes, I know. As a very early age, you had a clear vision. You want to be A, B, C, including law.
Yeah.
Finishing off with all uni. Now, I make decision concrete.
Yeah.
That yes, I'm doing it, or I'll do A. Then after that, I'll do law. What was that point that you made that strong decision?
After Melbourne reunion, I was thinking about politics, entering into mainstream politics. And I wanted to do something that will make my people get to know me better. As in fact, the time today be pandemic contest as MP, and now that actually be busy president. Ghana for me, ni for be we in order.
Where your people are? One refer to
my central region, especially Cape Coast to North, Cape Coast South, and Fantaman. On account was the Ghana's most beautiful baby. Now I was coming from the Hall of Excellence and Tradition. We teach tradition. You want him for Nazi school when you're 90 years, change your culture, change your tradition. And also no inform Mama Zakashe, Ghana's most beautiful mo.
So it was a learning curve even with Ikwafuho.
Yes.
Through the activities away.
Exactly. And no inform Mama Zakashe, Ghana's most beautiful. Now I mean the Ghana's most beautiful, it will offer me a very larger platform. A very bigger opportunity for me. There's no way I'm more really Ghana's most beautiful. Igwe for Bekade Wonyim. Cape Coast North for Bekade Wonyim. Ghana for Bekade Wonyim. And it's a productive venture. So why not venture into that?
GMB a productive venture.
Very. Because Obama me popular. Up to now, mo poster bobini fie wo Igwe. For Ghana's most beautiful. No mo posters no. Nti na menyim dey say mutumi rini Ghana's most and now say mpo say me rini na say me yaza exposure mon crofo no hu dey my yaza I've lifted up the flag of the region and then my people nti say da chi bi mpede me san mechi na me ka bibia me nye hoho obejima atum
Nti was it every school na ebe ana ewie school ana everybody school at what point and they decided that maybe a GM.
Into them, I had that conversation with my dad, and then he gave his caveats.
Okay.
On paying you who biara in your. Into no, I had to settle on Ghana's was beautiful. Into me submitting me longest work cons department we them dana na mafaka mko Cape Coast CNC to go and study Fanta Mamre, our dances, our songs, and everything that I needed to know to go for my auditions.
No audition but prepare for the audition.
No, my notes. I started making my notes during Bassie's time. That's 2014. Queen Bassie, so I started making my notes, taking inspiration from Bassie and then from the Central Regional Rep BB.
Wow.
And then doing my own wide research about my region, the culture, and then everything that I needed to get me into the pageant.
Into him for your audition, was it in Western region?
I did my audition in Takoradi, and I was the last person to be auditioned. Me late.
Wow.
Now me late time me here any day. Me far forward from Cape Coast pay due to Takoradi. Call Takoradi no. I don't know say be pause to her no. From nowhere I had a bee sting. Adwa be sheka no bo menua. Into I went to GMU audition with a bee sting. Na menua ho ne kakra. So I was sad. Into mo do Takoradi station like me pay some restaurant be. Na me keshe. Musuya into we are I'm saying no. I need to do this because my crafty na mo kwa bam papa's in sharing nyina mam. Into mezo kwa into share me audition videos. Now I was not excited. My first audition no, I had a gloomy face. Na me knew my do kakra. That was what happened to me my first day of auditioning. I had a bee stink. And then you know a beauty pageant. People are showing their faces first. When you know
what the brain.
And son a wager now why you know in your now many more winning. No, I isn't, but then I went. I was the last person to be auditioned.
One thing you don't give up.
No.
Even in the midst of the oyeden, or a beauty pageant. Yes, sure, when you ma hofe. And sana ya ba ya ba no, you sooner
adwabu.
But that never deterred you.
Not at all. Because na me pede moko. Na mo hu de wanye ye. Na ma be fi abobo mama nze na pa dem
na anko na ama excuse.
Exactly. Into with or without the beasting, without that handicap no, I'll go and see what God will do for me.
How was it? Next, step up.
Next, mo kwaya no obi sam. What course did you study in Legon? I studied economics. Na questions.
Okay.
When me some culture she yo. It was just I had submitted my longest 2 weeks. Until everything was fresh. No move way gum. Demand and supply. No fake.
Wow.
Until my first audition, they even looked at my face. They liked the idea and the brilliance. Yes, okay. That was what they considered for me. Because many sure that was shame pa. Okay, I would have passed through.
Wow.
But I'm sorry.
I see. So that was the first audition. I qualify. Or there concurrent.
Or them a bankran. Until kind so yeah, but 2 David Donton or Auntie Linda. Until yeah, 2 auditions. Now getting to the final audition, no. Now David Donton be some there. What is your name again? Number is in Oheneba Safoah. Oheneba Safoah, you're coming for Central Region. Now say papa mpacho me e fantini. Was mo to fantini. Na won frɛ me esi. Inti hona the stage when I had to find a fancy name. My father was Joseph Abaka. And you know Akosua Safoah. Inti me fa esi Abaka. Abaka ne samrani esikafo. Inti hona na me so from esi Abaka sikafo. Inti I'm a proud fancy.
On the spot.
In your and you're the man go on from.
Are you interested?
Yeah.
So, So what about some no see then?
Yeah. Inti me chache mo dem no. I think he liked how sweet I was about answering the question. No, monkwai. Inti na we do final auditions so was be selected 10 no. Now the day before no na I was hearing some rumors that was selected one crofo we the down. My girls now was selected one umpo no chede. Prepare what's in the way group on baby. Watch on and tara one shene tira one year. Me say, "Hey, at that time me makeup yet. Maybe me me raw. Walking in makeup na me pay be pencil me show me me na home. Honestly, the final day no so na why then na ma ba mu ebu kakra.
The metete no.
Ma metete no that nti say wa fo na area ye ba ha ya ba be den. Then one lady Shirley or no contested for Ashanti no or Ashanti reps no. No catch them there. Isi menko. What if it's your time? But so onye Shirley nkranhye na oze shamana. Because the intimidation was too much. Now that there were a lot of beautiful girls. Like you could see that they came prepared. The pageant is Ghana's most beautiful.
So at a point you were intimidated.
Yes. I'm a man makeup. My pencil so for mouse waiting. Now she been a wig why you proper like wig well lay in the front of camera. One hour barasta chade. Now my she menu more Shirley, are you sure? I say see what if it's your time? Young into one or into what friend girls in but I'm the ones outside. Into that time there was this gentleman with TV3 Timmy. I've forgotten the first name. Kwekutime. Yeah. No say monko yamfo ane yamfa. Ye be fon so ye be fa. No ni murem. I feel bobo no bobo. I'm no wa bo meeting.
How was the feeling like? Not today. From knowing that
from not in your
and
I would make it in your
to hearing your name.
At that point, I knew I was in for a journey. I knew I had been programmed for this thing. And at that moment, and whilst the other girls were screaming, yeah, no, I was standing on the stage thinking. Into there against Ashe, yen 2015 audition video now. Whilst the girls were screaming, no, I was just thinking, that what next?
What next?
Yes, after the selection, what next? From the bee sting to the intimidation and all that, you know. And now I've been selected to represent my region. We are 10. What next for me?
Ashe, ladies are was selected on that time, without and now being selected now. Do you feel that Charlie, me adequate? Me like me shema. At a point, did you doubt yourself?
No, I didn't doubt myself because then I measure girls now WOHO now as a compare me I had the oratory ability over them. And they be a makeup no why fair first it be not your first but the confidence as a student leader no and then my oratory skills you know I knew that would push me forward, so I made sure that I worked on that so that in case there
work for strength
exactly
and complementing
my
weaknesses
for change. Then me makeup here and me frontal na as in shada anyi nti abazo no be mam to make me stand out. Aunt Linda say mubu emanu na me kase bibia Aunt Linda na David they will not overlook. And I make sure that I worked on my oratory skills and then I learned a lot. And I think for my GMB auditions, I think it was my intelligence that took me to the house and not my face actually.
My yanko nkete yaba. We'll just wrap up with GMB.
Okay.
And then straight to
politics.
Mainstream politics.
Okay.
But before that, yabeko law kakra. My lord. We'll go there. Yaba says yeah. Onua FM 95.1 FM Onua TV, and then all over we are live and large on social media. Echo, Twitter, Instagram. We are tweeting, we are sharing. Go like the page and share. For message to me pe wo oye questions na de for me na yen hwene putting across to OYC because it's very important. Epe clarity biara for to ho. And ebia bibiri chirwadwen besiaba it was school. I mean, you'd want to hear something. If you from someone who passed through, please share. Call Facebook for message note one and can yen for more. And see, any oil queen see any using como GMB 2015 on no winning or a lawyer and also your politician. Yeah, but oil pro Alan ni oye mfefe ku ni nyina wa Ghana ha de a ono no coordinate obobo wona no na odema oye Alan Damaraso na oye a staunch and a very senior member also my movement for change John Alan Kwadwo Chiramaten ni party ni kuwa ende was the NDC MPP duopoly na Dawson ye make a change. She's part of the voice Warma that clarion call the Ghana Fontaine will make that change, you know. She's here to espouse more on those issues. But before that, yen wrap up on GMB. Until fast forward, waffle. GMB was one was there, then he knows we was like, how was the plan like, and then take us through the journey to the final and eventually winning.
Yes, we got into the house, we were 10. Now the concept is about national unity. And irrespective of obiani behavior and character, you have to learn to live with them peacefully. And I remember that your house when you know girls, but then the most troublesome in the house, as people perceived, became the very closest person. That was Azure, Upper East.
Oh, I remember that name,
Azure. In the Owatakra, the Crans, Mokotakra,
I see.
Azure. And I was very close with Azure. And being in the house, it wasn't easy because it was a different environment, meeting different people from different backgrounds, 10 regions.
Yeah.
It's different ethnic groups.
Different culture.
With everything you had to do, you had to be circumspect. Even how you talk to your fellows. Or there,
it's permissible.
Our culture, but our culture it's an insult. Another to trigger something annoyance. You had to be careful. And during the competition, quite often, I had rashes all over me. For TV, one hour TV, when you move from the third week.
Wow.
Yeah, first week, second week, third week rehearsals for modeling for our modeling nights and fashion week. Mobile form a chill home.
Wow.
In your auntie, I had a scar on my leg.
Wow.
In the GMB house
That
for
didn't
10 good
deter
weeks.
you.
That didn't deter me. Oh no, was more Holy Trinity now, but no would treat because I was working, performing with it. Instead of the I washed some trousers to cover the scar. At times I had to put plaster on it and then perform with it.
Wow.
And it wasn't easy for me. Yes, it wasn't easy for me. On that, my winning night, blood was oozing, blood and water was oozing from my leg into my heels. But then I stood, I performed.
Wow.
I was crowned with it.
It was perseverance.
It was perseverance, pain.
Perseverance, but enjoy.
But I enjoy.
Did you have people, Tima, and ones who was support who training, were aside in-house, za oye ejumana so wama wo coach one as do you have people like that?
I had people like that. And so honestly, as a credit by my central regional team, the current Ogwa Nana Me Yaba or Yefuto Hema, once on way the Krunti of Ogwa traditional area. Okay. She was my coach. And before the pageant, she did some notes for me. She taught me some things. Now, whilst in the house, wama yenya visitors. And say normal and him for me safuni bipa wobe church and zamanaze. I had a professor at a Cape Coast University. Also a professor of languages and as into non sooner or church and zaman kakran penny sama manka naza obe my microphone would am a true reflection of the people of the region. And see what as a pan na Ghana dance ensemble so what as a pan babaya yanom nazi. All the way been a babaya empono no say mukurimam. Or house or and say once or years a pa. And then the support base, I would say my church was my major support base, the Christo Safoah family. We found the World Cup. And so no votes and no and so when it came to votes, and I knew that Enyaza made him because of votes.
But you needed
I needed
it with
exactly.
Your performance.
And yet even if so vote mama me winning pa menu arrange because we try to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they be area after pageants and then that wasn't me. And I had to perform to make my people proud, to make my daddy proud. If you're so apostle, no, you'll be he's culturally oriented into Chinese culture. Or my free and so I
was he in tune with GMB? You choosing GMB?
Me choosing GMB. Me pocho me kwan is in ordering there ya roro huni bi. Me ka roro ho a o dey ta say aha. Into my first performance. Nah, I was adorned in the traditional regalia. Nah, I spoke about my region and the culture. No more there. There's something productive that he had to push his daughter. Wow. And then from that no catch him there, I will win. All that I needed to do was to perform. He would do everything he needed to do as a father, but I had to do my bit to push me to win in your.
So perseverance through the feeling of oil winning eventually.
Yes.
How did it dawn on you that day?
Winning. Actually, the Yakaya rehearsals on a conference center home and Sana that night. Na I felt a deep spirit. Like I felt like I owned the place.
That environment. No?
I felt like I was crowned already. And to that day, I was very free. I took everything so simple. I was not really, really serious about the performance. I knew them, okay, it is finished. I knew that my Azi. I've had the support. This is the final. I knew that God will crown me. And to that day, when I entered the conference center, I knew it was a victory for me. And even yesterday show, I was in the palanquin. I entered as a queen. Was my pakanim was I was entering, looking at the crowd, looking at my people. The central regional minister and his people were there. The regional house of chiefs, president, Kwebe, and then the house of chiefs, they were there. My church was there. My Kwafu Hall people were there. Like it's
support
auditorium. I had me too. Noah. I had 3/4 of the people there. Everybody chanting AC.
Was it because and I'm on a course to come and support you at the grand finale because week in, week out, you were giving them what they needed?
Performance. It was my performance. Because in support nena minim wonder. Once they decided to support me. And the penny bimpo one can had him he actually bought 5 phones for the workers. No. Wow. Every Tuesday I will vote to me AC. That was what happened. I had strangers who came to help me and a minimum one. It's after the pageant, I really had to thank a lot of people. To them,
GMB, would you advise anyone listening to venture into it?
Yes. If I give birth to a daughter, I would advise her to enter into GMB. That's if she wants to be a beauty queen or she wants to enter into the pageant industry. Because them man and I'm paparakano. My father didn't like nudity when it comes to our pageantry stuff. And the GMB so it's about culture. And as our only culture when they don't promote it. And as a Ghanaian woman going through GMB, watch a one member wage, coupled with developmental issues, social issues, economic issues, like it was baby. Until before you come out, now you're refined. You wouldn't be the person you were when you enter the house. You come out as a different person. You come out with a different garment. When you win, or even when you don't win Ghana's Most Beautiful, you become refined when you come out from the pageants. I know a lot of people who didn't win, but they've made it. They are doing well for themselves. They're doing well for their people.
From GMB?
From GMB, yes.
Issy says, I'm going into law. After law, politics. Why? How did it start? Let's get straight into politics.
After GMB, I may gain popularity or mukrum hokakran. I wanted to go straight into politics, and my dad said no. Opede mumu yedu before I enter into mainstream politics, because in the politics, say bisiana umu inshada nyedra nkrofu umbu inyo. They put a lot of tax on you. So my daddy spoke to me to go to the law school, become a full lawyer, full-blown lawyer before I enter into politics. And so as a guardian, as a man of God who prophesied about my birth and had been with me throughout my years, I had to listen to him, go to the law school, finish before I enter into mainstream politics.
And you were called to the bar when?
Last year, 20th October.
All over.
TV for Adaroma. And Auntie Linda now obey me mommy or conference center home during my call. Until whilst my name was mentioned, she was videoing me. Until you pay pardon, she all about fam also means him or pictures now. And so was the video in there. he wants to remind that was the same stage I was crowned Ghana's most beautiful.
Wow.
I can't you so
95.1.
that was the same stage you were crowned Ghana's most beautiful in 2015 in October.
Nese be politics.
Na me politics.
Why?
Nche na ma ayem papa ni zina ewie. Mate hu de Ghana no se pede ye bibi ma wo krom wo man e pede ye bibi ma, like if you want to help. Now you don't have a strong voice aye a bre. Na me hu the politics is not as bad as people perceive. Yes. About Martin Luther King, they were politicians.
Of course.
Nelson Mandela, he was a politician. But then, people have the perception that politics is a dirty game and all that. It's about the people who are doing it. You want your papa warrior politics. To them, papa and Kwejo Chematin. And they once a warrior one day was a yenza mabon.
Today.
On the moon to Mumbozin. I'm back at the blue Harry. Then one guess what to do when you want politics. No, warrior was a born man. No one a warrior for their own interests. At Asa. And them I'm starting as a child, being a class prefect, being a middle classes. I was a primary head girl, going to Infantamine Girls, being a house prefect, coming to University of Ghana, JCR vice president, I knew that I could do it. Or by an election, either you win or lose. Area na ari na kofiaka your homework ye na aba. You win so then you move on with nzamepede ye ma onkro no. And I believe that politics is a positive good venture you can use to help your people. And the Mirini Ghana's was beautiful as my project I was able to help a lot of young girls in my region, especially Cape Coast. Mizibirum su ejuma mobo ebinum so won school fees na I was working on teenage mothers.
Okay.
Into teenage mothers na one year juma no mes want to edwuma mutu wontrin sa wo wi amopon won homa to dryers na nzamam na was aye edwuma. And I realized that some politics might to give me the larger a friend and opportunity. I'll have a very solid ground that into mo sorry na markasa na America be say baby o baby a obi be hu there I'm not just anybody coming from somewhere mo bobu one another maybe GCK be make easy. Honestly, I'm a mirror politics, and I know that politics is a very positive adventure for me. To help my people.
There is NPP.
There is NDC.
There is PNC, CPP, NDC. Why movement for change?
Okay, as a child, during the 2000 elections between Kufuor, Papa Kufuor, and Mills. It was school sometime, I heard some girls laughing at Kufuor. The Kufuor boy was through Kufuor. They were making fun of Kufuor, and I don't know why I broke down. Mushi Amzu Kufuor, catch him, Papa. There, who is Kufuor? My mates are saying the Kufuor boy na JJ and Nyan could be boring. So my father showed me the picture of Kufuor. Now I'm catching that. I would wish Kufuor would win. I was in class 2, and Kufuor won. Into Kufuor really no na.
Them posters,
ministers na daman zamanina. So I loved MPP because of Kufuor. Initially, I was an MPP sympathizer because of Kufuor, because of Alan Chematin, Corrit Koshiga, Gladys Asman, Mom Nazi. Now, see, I mean in Mary. Now I have a broad perspective of politics. I can reason for myself. I can connect the dots. MPP and NDC. This year especially, I think I made a decision in 2022 because now I'm MPP. I was not comfortable with what was happening in the country, especially the promises and Akufo-Addo yeah ma nti na yetoman. In fact, I voted. My first vote Motoman Anado.
Okay.
As a first time voter. I had so much trust in him to deliver. The way I was packaging it nice was a mind them. I knew that he would do something positive for us. He was packaged. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. In 2020, I realized that the NPP had been a disappointment. Although people voted against the NDC in 2016, but I felt whatever the NPP accused the NDC of, why in a times 10? Instead of manual 2, there I will go out and campaign for NPP. And to me,
that's whatever people voted NDC
out. Whatever the NPP accused the NDC of. Why in times 10, times 5? Corruption. Call it, name it. This is my personal experience. Today, I will go out and campaign for the friend and MPP. NDC had not been my thing, though I have lots of friends in the NDC than the MPP. but that I wanted to be in MPP. And here lies the case that they are not delivering. It's about partisan. What the party needs, not what the country needs.
Is that what you see?
That was what I saw in 2022. And that informed my decision in joining Alan's movement. And so I decided not to vote. But then when Alan decided to step out and contest at independent, I read a little about him. I did my own research and I realized that he's a credible person. He's a man with a track record. Urban credibility. I don't think they when you compete, they come close. And the name Alan Cash is a household name. As young as we were, we knew Alan Cash. We heard about Alan Cash. And so I decided to join his movement and add my voice to the fact that it is time we ended the duopoly. It is high time we put an end to the duopoly. Now, you saw another candidate, either from a different party or from an independent perspective. No, because for the past 32 years, it's been NDC MPP. The NDC bottom 16 years. Why? The NPP will be delivered why in 16 years. Oh yeah. Before Frozen Ban, that perspective. No, it's not as if we have run out of good politicians, good leaders. Honestly, I think that we are in leadership crisis. I believe that from up, so it will boil down and come to the base.
The state is in the leadership crisis.
Yes. Galam says Okodo.
Are you doubting Akufo-Addo's leadership?
Me doubting 2022 na mo de wamwayen, especially the youth. Because Akufo-Addo, youth, Ghanaian youth na what man pa. Ghanaian youth brought Akufo-Addo into power. Ye pay juma, ye no bebre what tent in a fee. Money are being so come from Jim. But then some, if I look back, I have lots of siblings, I have lots of cousins. I 1 year juma what tent in a fee. I need a candidate, not a political party. A candidate, ni yes, ni no, ni no. Zo osa then oye. Mbusha might is only a lunch Martin.
Live on Onua 95.1 FM. I'm famous for 20 there. Bibi Kasibiri Babesi. On den. Yes, asembeni. Joda Zeroko this Monday. Your regular show, Paimuka, is being rested. Yes, to film kakra. Na yes, oya asembeni yes bro. Now, the king of radio. If you don't know him, then please Monday from 1:00 for way from 4 to Onua FM and listen to the king of radio because he has a Sunday in his bro. And he make a date Monday going. Ghana will shut down positively because we are bringing you something big. Yeah, educate you, informal to make some great choices in this oil year's election. And he just keep tabs with us. And from Monday going, the Yamfa Oya Sembe ni Yamfa bro. Messi, epede hunyiporobo hoster. Messi Oya the king of radio. The king of radio. Honor Robertson will host Jumezi Nozame. Onua FM, yes, WOHO. Mami 1 minute, Meba. It's getting interesting because for a queen venture into oil law, come to politics to tell me that Akufo-Addo leadership no is suspect no. Was that me interrogate no more? Because Alan was with Akufo-Addo. So what makes AC think Alan is not like Akufo-Addo? She will come and answer that question. Women in politics, from Henry Yerba. 95.1 FM Onua FM and was good 20 minutes to 4 p.m. Still here with Oya Queen AC GMB 2015 winner. Oya lawyer and also politician. She is a member of the Movement for Change. They say the duopoly no adores NDC MPP no. Yamfan Twinchen. Let's get closer to Alan. Let's appreciate his thoughts and what he has for Oya Ghana. But Alan Yera, Adan Yera no nye Akufo-Addo, and Washubum, Oya Flagstaff House. Why should Ghanaians have confidence in him? Isi.
Yo, when you are being made a baby, and so when me some question in Pankamonko, Kamanga maybe some more than my question, my answer in you. We have the principle of individual accountability and collective responsibility.
95.1.
What do I mean by this?
Individual accountability and collective responsibility. Okay.
Urban governance now, as a minister, Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen is only accountable to baby I wasn't a toy. He was a trade minister under Kufuor's government. He was a trade minister under Nanado's government. But Urban, the collective responsibility of the economy of the country, it lies on the presidency. And the presidency comes with the president and the vice president. Into the entire collective responsibility of the country, no. In fact, Alan Kyerematen cannot answer questions on energy sector. He cannot answer for the health sector. He cannot answer for gender ministry, but then he can answer. He can be held accountable for what happened within the trade ministry. Now let me take you back.
Okay.
To the track record of Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, even before politics.
Okay.
In the year 1994, Time magazine, they were looking for 100 most influential leaders across the world. Ghana, when you be apart from Alan Kyerematen, he was 38 years. Time magazine, 1994. And that squad, no, Bill Gates, my friend, and John F. Kennedy Jr., in our Africa, John Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen. As at that time, what did they see? What did the world see in Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen? And working as one of the 100 global leaders, were expected in the millennium, no, be president and a leader in his country. In particular, the same year, 1994, when Nelson Mandela came from prison, ending the apartheid system and all that, and he was elected as their first president, he was looking out for some economists and people to build the black economy in South Africa. He was looking out for 7 economists and experts. Guess what? Alan Kyerematen was the only black expert who was invited into South Africa. He stayed in South Africa, made sure that he built the South African black economy before he came back to Ghana. In Timbuktu, South Africa, there South Africa developer. Alan, your pioneers now was starting here, what build the black economy, and in that South Africa. Now when you are in holidays, Alan handwriting. Let's come to politics. As a trade minister under Kufuor's government, when you Maslock, Alan is the brain behind Maslock. Alan knows the Maslock or the Bobazi to help ease the petty traders when it comes to some financial constraints. The one for you is can't confirm my minimum no sisters no was now want to one fenzigua. One young fasha, then they pay back to the government. But in the Abazan was a Maslock was here. And that was here politics. In the young people, yes, can watch our mobi. NDC by power, watch a NDC for. But Alan brought Maslock to help traders in Ghana, not MPP traders or NDC traders. The idea of a National Friday wear, appreciating our culture, appreciating our clothing, our identity as Ghanaians. It came from Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen with just one policy to save the fashion and the garment industry at 205, 206. Then Alan also the policy bay. At that time, they were laying down, they were laying off workers within the textile and the GTP phone and
there were cheap influx of
China for into Alan as a trade minister, then he had to come up with a policy. Will save all these people from being unemployed. He talked to our father President Kufuor. He listened, and they came with a policy of National Friday Wear. What's what if you da? Shetam, epedeshe kintashe, epedeshe fugashe. Nemo, let's see you as a Ghanaian. On no kafa dama National Friday Wear Ozebe, them not today. The demand for clothing, why high as an economist. Into urban them one will lay on off Nina
you need them back to
into the industry. Yes. Until one night they were even coming into the industry, so they had lots of work to do. Tailor for when you are J. One hour on time when you are J. It took Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen with one policy to save the garment industry. Mapacho and you know what Ozebeyo, or from maybe Empretech. Ozebe to help local businesses. Mapacho ye na kasaprekwa ye minide no. He's a product of Empretech. Alan Kyerematen as a trade expert Ozenzama Bebre, our friend and presidential special initiative.
Yeah.
Say as a dinner.
A lot of them.
Alan Chemate is the brain behind presidential special initiative as a trade minister, not as a vice president, not as a president. Your policies that came from one person, Adrenkese. To help.
Why is it that all these policies, from what you are telling me, most of them they were under Oye Ejekumkufo.
Yes.
Most of those Oye policies. Why is it that during Akufo-Addo time, we didn't see a lot of what you are talking about?
Okay, during Akufo-Addo's time, on there, the presidency, they come up with what they want to do. As a minister, you are appointed, and you work according to the rules of the president. Alan is the brain behind One District, One Factory. He is the engineer of One District, One Factory. On Akufo-Addo campaign. I am the architect behind this huge policy. Why do you give that project to another person to execute? No, you're trade minister, no, the bay to help the Ghanaian economy and traders, no. He was left alone. They gave it to Yamame give to Ohene Kunedu to execute it. Nipa no join or draw on a plan or the no or WOHO, but you can give it to another person to.
I feel that policy, poorly implemented.
I think there's senka yeba power na MPP ba power into 2017 no. Nanka was the mal and Kojo Chematin. Now what's the resources na can ho to work on yan magana yebri. Nka by now every constituency be one ne factory, One District, One Factory no. Can be assured why you're very successful. But even with everything that happened no, Alan made sure there he got in touch with private investors to come here, partner with some local businesses to set up some of their factories. Mapacho a confit juice factory yara. Alan nada Roma normal will see a confit juice factory. Mapacho after Alan left the MPP no, he had to halt whatever that he was doing. And I remember that company was 70-80% done. Just this year, just last year, yes. The chiefs and the people, the queen mothers of Ekunfi went to the presidency to remind our father, the president. The baby Alan Jaya on Homono. Mapocho, Okway no your more time think Obeya and Cabano, Omborie. Mapocho, do you remember the answer Akufo-Addo gave them?
Minima Zebeke.
Akufo-Addo is in any refill on K. Now one to a money MP into 1K. Okay. Yes, that should tell you the kind of politics I hear your Ghana ha. As a father of the nation, as a father that the youth, we have so much hope in you. Also, them more refill that we are unemployed. Yan to a man MP into refill, and he was like he said it blatantly on air. TV do be Irish. Say me him so we are no coffee no kada join when that some kind of one can you but or young crofone you. The Sanke ye truly a leader. What the youth of Ghana at heart are. If you would have made sure that we complete the project in area. This should tell you the kind of politics that was going on within the MPP. Why a politics ne change why form a cartel CB woma cheda where's Adrian Papa Beye about the country and not the party no Obeya Mefim. Nkrofo Salam was with a MPP and now so why should we please na mekeno. Let's make Alan accountable for what happened within the trade industry. Mapacho African Continental Free Trade Area. Alan is the brain architect behind this.
But see, Ghana in the fourth Republican dispensation,
okay,
it's been a duopoly. One year MPP obey NDC. It's not like Obi unity better. Each of the elections Biara, we get independent candidates. Some of them very credible people are within their own right, their spheres. No, people revere them. They know what they've been able to do. But the Ghanaian has not shown that Emra Asude yet for Abadzema or yet an independent person to take over the realms. Abadzema convince how the Ghanaians will vote for Alan.
Munya Benyin, looking at the political atmosphere within Africa, you will realize that things are changing. Africans are moving away towards the duopoly. Mopacho, in Neko Benin now we have an independent president, Patrice Talon. First round, Onya 20 something, say 22 or something, with the income, with the then vice president. But your second round, Ocham 65. That was Benin. Senegal, hey, that gentleman, me finish an impo.
Very young gentleman.
Very young gentleman. He went as an independent candidate, not with a political party. We have the duopoly, the two strong political parties in Senegal. But then why do you think they voted for him? Things have changed in Africa. But in South Africa, what happened during their election?
95.1.
For the first time in South Africa after the apartheid, ANC for na wana no wenya dama majority that 86%, 85%. Wenya they were crawling around 43, 45 thereabout for the first time in their history, because the people are tired of the duopoly. Into this time around, Zuma just used about 2 months to campaign, but look at the vote that Zuma pulled. And sana man here they be all shene beret.
Malema Julius.
Malema also pulled a quite number of votes. And sana abrofono so no they pulled a quite number of votes. So then it happened that either Oboko ran off and now they'll form a government of national unity, because Obiang crossed 50%. For the first time in their history, South Africa had to form a government of national unity.
Until there is a change.
Until there is a general change within the political atmosphere in Africa. And it has affected Ghana's political jurisprudence. Why do I say that? Share for me na MP before Jojo no last election here. Now he
Honorable
Esiama. He became a kingmaker in parliament. At that time, the MPP thought there, Ashanti region, no for Nintino. MPP will still vote for MPP candidate. But for one day rapture, they voted for an independent candidate, because as at that point they were looking at the credibility of the person, the
not
personality, and not the party. Me pacho what to abe ya ye MPs your friend in parliament or the speaker. What happened? For the first time in our history, we had opposition party rep becoming the speaker of parliament against one our government, the government in power. This should tell you that there are some MPs who didn't believe in the choice of their candidates, and they believed in Honorable Alan Gbagbe, though he was from NDC. In Onua, the sister, people are looking beyond the party politics. They are looking beyond the party colors, but then they are looking at the individuals, the personality of the leaders that we have. Ono no maminya reshemude Alan Chematin will see victory in this election. Oya Nkrofo Kade, independent candidates, they be our bars, small political parties in Portugal. Alan is a household name. Alan is a dominant candidate. He's not a marginal candidate. Yes, we've had credible people contesting as president, but Alan is a credible person. Alan is a dominant candidate. Alan Cash is a household name. Don't be deceived. Everybody knows Alan. I'm starting my campaign. I'm pede metran kranha into muku nkrase. Mpocho membreo. Once they look at the face, especially the old women, Alan Cash, hey mukuna Alan Cash, hey papa na no fefe no, oroba, we fi MPP man nada, onye baumia, so we have to explain to them what on hoko independent. Until if you are in MPP or you NDC and you are underestimating the influence of Alan Kwejo in this election, ebezu dokonokwa. There's something called a silent majority. People have not averted their mind to it, my brother. People are quiet. Meaning painful. Our industry, even the showbiz industry, within politics, within the religious sects. Because he's a kakade, but they are waiting on the 7th of December.
One question won't him.
Because he said, Alana. Either you be intimidated, obey you a day for you. Alana, they've been humiliated for long because of party politics. We are looking at the credibility and the competence of the person, of the personalities. Mapacho, yem Papa John Dramani Mahama, waba bebida. Meti wasn't your assemblyman. Obedi MP, obedi deputy minister, obeye minister. Nyame boy kwama obeye vice president. Munya, nyame ye na obeye president. Zobe no why ye? Sis origin pension pay. Why is he coming back? Abazi biom no baba be. Zobe ni ye. Yem Papa Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, as the vice president and head of the economic management team, Mapacho Oraban, MPP brought him to come and save the economy.
Oh, the steer was no with him.
Hey! Okadama yene nyadwen. The presidency comes with the president and the vice president. Mpochasha constitution ma, the qualification to be a president and vice ni na ye pe. Yankade be a driver, ne be a mate. As a vice president, he is the second driver of the economy. I don't know why he will humiliate himself and downplay his role.
Yes, as a vice president, he's the second driver.
Absolutely.
Not a mate.
Not a mate. Never a mate. Never a mate. Extra constitution in the absence of the president is the vice president. You take over. I was 1 month to lead the economic management team. Pontina was the bait to say, Grandpa, and can take that as a project. Executed near one day as a vice president. You did well. You saved Ghana from IMF. You saved Ghana from inflation. You saved Ghana from depreciation of the CDN. Oh, but what are we saying? But what about power? What harassing young Papa John Dramani Mahama? What about power? No, the CD was like 3 to 4 cities. Yeah. The CD to a dollar. By then, the city was 17.
Onion drew okakra.
And Wakakram withdrew. By November and then Bamia one we withdrew. That's the wonders he's doing. And see, say Moshe, how at times I played their campaign videos and how they campaigned, how they package him into the political mainstream now. Now Moshe in the Zori and he's talking about digitalization and all that now. You see that he's veered off. He doesn't even want to hold the economic lectures he used to hold. And that was not what we were looking for. We were looking for an economist to save this country. We trusted Dr. Baumia, but he failed woefully. On and a year wasn't there. Young Papa John Dramani Mahama was incompetent. Unfortunately for Ghanaians, the MPP led by Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Baumia are super incompetent, horribly incompetent.
Listen to this.
We've come to stay. Movement for change, for change, for change, Ghana rise again. Together we win, we win, we win, Ghana rise again. Movement for change, for change, for change, Ghana rise again.
The woman singing a song Nagasa Yenine Jinkomo Hari on Women in Politics, Grace Ashin. She's another staunch supporter of the movement for change. And you're wrapping up all too soon time no Arian Kakra. And your quick ABA menu by but before that no, take few seconds for 2 women who are shying away. Everything around tell them they should get into politics, but because of fear, they are shying away. Advise them.
My advice, Mr. Safoah went into politics, and you have to take a decision that you really want to do this. Once you make that decision, or the confidence naturally. Actually, within our political space in Ghana and even in Africa, I am Mr. Safoah, the harassment, the intimidation, the bullying, here too much. And there's a female politician. The first tag was about you are sleeping with the people at the top. Yeah, the man can't do baby, but that is not the truth. That is not a fact. I don't know for others, but I made a decision to join the movement for change because Honorable Alan Chairman called me. That Safoah, this is what I want to do, and I need youth leaders like you to be on my team. That was it. And see, as a woman, like you have to know your stuff. You have to know what you want. Then I maybe decided I would join the political party, your friend, and movement for change, and not any of the duopoly. You may also decide to join MPP or NDC. But then what is the conviction? Also party. What is the philosophy? And based on that, you want to join the political party. You can't just hop onto it. Or then before you enter into politics.
I see.
Because as a politician, you don't even understand the principles underpinning your political party. You don't understand the principles, the philosophy. Our leader and our friend and flag bearer, or holder and Ezra could join. Excuse me, you may be useless along the line. Until you have to understand the philosophies and you have to understand where you are coming from, whether or not what conviction or what belief they are in tandem with the philosophies of the political party. Mine was MPP and NDC. They've been in the political space for long enough of the duopoly. Let's bring in an independent party with a credible personality like Alan Tremartin. That's why I'm here. Until you also have to make that choice. Believe in yourself and work hard. Mpacho Mendo. Menda Debbie.
What all-time best politician in Ghana? All time. All time from Kring to all time. Besi all time.
Okay. My all-time politician in Ghana is Alan Kwejo Tremartin. Alan Cash.
President Awabenyi Nara. Fourth Republican Constitution.
Okay.
Juana.
John Ajikum Kufuor.
Vice President. First ladies.
I think we have to give Kunedu Ajaman Rawlings her flowers. Yes, for her influence in the PNDC law 111. It was a game changer for women widows in Ghana.
Speaking to the microphone, just 5 seconds. Tell the people listening to you what you want them to hear.
Yo, it's a fo adofo na chefo. Oyo wonwe besia esi most beautiful queen esi. Kakra mo wakanye day. We are entering into the election season. Ya kwato aba. Zayehia ya somdwe, irrespective of your political affiliation. For members of the movement for change, Papa Alan Kwejo Tremartin, he's a peaceful man. Ntono, he's in the scene to settle the fight between NPP and NDC. In the same somdwe, you have to join the movement for change. Yantuma Alan Tremartin, the man of peace, the man of unity, to bring in the government of national unity that captures all the fine brains from all political parties, even people who are not into politics, so that Ghana can move forward in 2025.
Madasi.
Onua 95.1 FM.